From year to year, month to month, week to week, and day to day, people across the world are obsessed with a phenomenon that is professional wrestling. But why? 101 reasons to love professional wrestling. There are many components of professional wrestling that should be both understood and celebrated, in no particular order. Inside politics. Every culture, society, or organization has their own set of norms and rules that it is founded on. Going back to even before the double crossing of Julius Caesar, there have always been scandals. There is always a chain of command, a king of the jungle, and a lay of the land. With this comes controversy, inner bickering, and internal battles. Of course, there are governments and communities that have policies that are enforced by law, but all cultures have their own regulatory scrutiny. There are many examples of specific groups with specific rules. In sports, it's the kangaroo courts deciding how to manage their team from within. Be it a code of ethics, the code of the samurai, or the code of the mafia and street gangs, there are both spoken and unspoken rules. Even your local high school has a student council. Every tribe has a chief. In professional wrestling, it's the promoter, the owner, or the respected veteran that guides the pulse of the locker room. Professional wrestling had its own way of dealing with internal issues. The infamous Montreal Screwjob is the first thing that comes to mind. Bret the Hitman Hart was leaving the company and did not want to drop the WWF Championship to the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels in his home country of Canada. The story then goes that WWF promoter Vince McMahon had no choice but to pull one over and essentially screw the Canadian hero. This messy story is one of the biggest controversies in wrestling's long, illustrious history. However, it is not the only story of this type. There are plenty more cases of locker room dirt. In any form of collaborative art or team sports, there are those who are unhappy with their role, their money, or their schedule. This leads to wrestlers airing their dirty laundry about management. When a wrestler needs money, attention, or a soapbox to preach from, they will work with random wrestling-related production companies, podcasts, and websites to have revealing interviews about what goes or has gone on backstage. These shoot-style interviews have blessed the fans with a deep look behind the curtain. And just like Eric Bischoff proclaimed, controversy sells. The roar among the wrestling community rises when the juiciest of gossip, news, and interactions occur. The cause and effect of these backstage antics have resulted in some of wrestling's biggest events. If Triple H had not been punished for taking part in the infamous curtain call, a moment where real-life friends broke kayfabe to hug goodbye in the ring, then Stone Cold Steve Austin would have never have won the King of the Ring and cut his career-making 316 promo. Then if Stone Cold Steve Austin himself hadn't shunned the idea of helping Jeff Jarrett get over, then it's easy to wonder if he had ever left and started TNA Wrestling. The same for Cody Rhodes. If he had been given more creative freedom and a better place on the card, would he have ever left and started All Elite Wrestling? There are a whole lot of inside stories and lore about professional wrestling. If it's not the murmurs of Hulk Hogan being hard to work with, then it's Dusty Rhodes holding people down, or it would be Booker T and Batista getting into a real life fight while shooting a commercial. Things have gotten out of hand, like when Sid Vicious stabbed Arn Anderson with a pair of scissors, or Enzo Amore being so obnoxious that he was kicked out of the locker room, or like a million more of these little stories. These type of shenanigans used to be settled behind closed doors, and fans were lucky to hear just a small rumor of the reality. Now the modern wrestler takes to their social media to express themselves and their issues with management or their peers. To someone on the outside, these wacky tales can be quite tedious. But when you take on a passion of professional wrestling, you can't help but get involved, get engaged, and just eat it all up.